What's up guys, and welcome to today's videos. I am your host representing Free Square Music. Today we're actually going to break down the song Way Too Big by the artist Burna Boy. It's a really good song. It's a mixture between Afro and pop music, so it's actually right in there with what we're trying to do on this channel. Now the point of this video is not necessarily to get the exact sounds that he's using, however is to get something close to it, and I'm going to show you different tips and tricks that you could use to get sounds and to have your music with that particular feel or different sonics that song has. All right, so if I could get this video up to 100 likes, I'll be more than happy to release those files for this particular project absolutely free. Let's get it. Okay, so let's take a listen to what the final project sounds like from verse and chorus. Okay, when recreating this track, the first thing I had to start off with is actually the marimbas. Usually I start off with the drums or the percussive part of it, but I decided to start with the marimba because that is what actually drives the song. So what I did after I figured out the chords, which is C sharp, the song is in F minor, so it goes to C sharp, then C minor, then F minor. Okay, so it's very easy. Again, like I said, for 100, like if I get 100 likes, I'll give you all these files for absolutely free. Okay, so let's listen to what's playing and what did I do to get the sound to come out a bit better. So I just loaded a simple bright marimba sound from Ableton, and I'm just gonna play with the different tones, different parameters. If I put the attack down, then you'll hear it come out a bit more staccato. And then I could just play with the release. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some of the glue compressor in it and just add some makeup so it could have more presence. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is just show you guys the kick pattern for the chorus. Okay, the kick pattern is on every bar, so I used a kit called the Quirk kit and that is part of Ableton's drum racks as well. So let me see if I could find it for you guys. It's right here, simple kit, and I just used this particular kick, and then I'm going to show you what I added on it to get it to come out the way it sounds now. So let's take a look at that pattern. Simple. Every bar there's a kick, and on the 8th bar there's somewhat like a little flum. Let's look at that pattern, and then it just loops. Simple. Okay, so let me show you what I did to that kick. So what I did, I added some EQ on it. I removed some of the bottom end because I didn't want it to click, because in my mind I'm going to add some distortion to the top end of that track anyway, so you don't want too much of the noise coming in on the top. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to shave away a little bit of the bottom end because I'm going to add some boom on the drum bus. Then using some more effects from Ableton, I'm actually going to add in the drum bus, and then we're going to add some drive. So let's listen to what it sounds like. Add some crunch as well, and add some boom. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring down the transient so the kick itself can cut off quick, because if I put it all the way on this side, it sustains, but I want it to cut off. And then to add some smack, you just add a glue compressor on there. See? what it sounds like normally. Just add some smack. Just adjust the glue compressor. Okay, so let's take a look at the snare pattern for it. And I'm going to show you the process that I put on it to get it to sound the way it sounds as well. I'm going to just remove all my effects. It's just a simple snare. I used the Bombay snare, which is in my Monarch sample pack. You can find it on my website. It's just a simple snare. Okay, let's look at the pattern. Check out the pattern. But the song doesn't have a snare that actually dominates the chorus. So what I did, I just added some EQ around 190 hertz. I just boosted to get some body, and I just dipped in the 7.5K range just to take off some of the top ends. And then I added a drum bus. The drum bus is gonna add some distortion. You don't want too much distortion. Okay. Cut up the transient as well and add a little bit of boom. And then the vocoder effect is actually what did the magic for me to get that snare to sound similar to what he has. So what I did, I just added the vocoder and added some noise in there. So if you adjust the noise, if you adjust depth, you could have the noise sound different. But I like it around 60%. And if you want, you could play around with the format, and that would determine how low or how high it sounds. I kind of like it here. And if you want, you could blend it too. Or you could have it 100%. So I want the two sounds blended, and I'm just gonna add it like this. So let's hit kick and snare together. Okay, so the next thing I did, I know the track itself has a lot of there's a lot going on in the track, to be honest with you. So I wanted to add something that I could use to fill in the empty spaces besides the percussion. Now we haven't done the percussion yet because there's a lot going on with the percussion. So let me just make you guys listen to what I added. So I took this loop from my Monarch sample pack as well. But I know this is not necessarily the type of loop that's running in the background. So to get it to sound the way that I wanted, here's what I did. I removed some of the bottom ends using some EQ. But then when it came to the effects, I added a gate. And then what I did, I changed the gate to the Marimba. Remember I said in the beginning that Marimba is what actually drives the song. So once I did that, that meant that as soon as this loop would only play once the Marimba plays. So let's listen to what it sounds like. See? Now I could adjust I could have it releasing very slow or release it very quickly. And you could adjust the threshold to see how much comes in. See? And then of course I added the drum bus. That's gonna add distortion. We don't need the boom because we don't need the bottom end. We're just gonna adjust the damper a little. And then for it to sound a bit more percussive, I just added some delay. So it's still playing once the gate has closed. And this is what the two sounds like together. So now with that, I could just balance out the kick and the snare. And that's the drums. Now, the percussions now. Let's say what the percussion sounds like. So I have a lot of processing going on with the percussion, but I'm going to break it down one by one, okay? The percussion, I also used a regular percussion core kit, which you could find with with Ableton, and I just adjusted some of these parameters myself. But what I did, let's take a look at the pattern. Okay, so we have a clap, we have a wood block, and we have a low bongo, and we have a cabasa, which is basically a shaker. Okay, now let's take a look at what I did to the wood block, for example. Let's listen to the wood block. So what I did to the wood block, I just added some saturation. That's gonna add some drive and some body onto it. Adjusted the wet and dry parameters, and I just added a drum bass on there just to add some grit. We could also cut back, or you see, have it extended. You could have the transient extended if you put it this way, but I don't want it to sustain, so I have it cut off. Okay, so this is the block. The other sound that I have is a clap. Let's listen to the clap. I'm going to put the volume back to normal. I'm going to remove all the processes that I have. It's just a simple clap. I just added some EQ, just move some of the bottom end, and just add a drum bass. Simple as that. Okay, let's listen to what else I have. I have a bongo low which plays this. Let's see what I did. I took off a lot of the bottom end, almost all the top end. I don't need that because I just needed to knock. And then I added a pedal effect. You see, exaggerated. This is what it does. It gives it a, I wouldn't say like a full distortion, but it gives it some fuzz. If you want, you could mix up the two sounds, and then I just added a drum bass just to exaggerate some of these things. And then I also edited the cabasa. Let's listen to the cabasa. This is the shaker. So what I did, I added some reverb onto there. I added just a little bit of delay, and I added the same vocoder effect which we added on the snare, and that's going to complement the snare. This is going to complement the snare. That's why I have it like that, and then I have the top ends. Also added the drum bass. So all together it sounds like this. So now what we do, we just adjust the volume. So let's listen to what everything sounds like. See? And there you have it. That's the drums for the song. So now we're gonna go ahead and add the bass. Now I've already gone ahead and put in some of the bass lines into the track. So we're gonna ahead and add a wave table onto that track, and let's listen to what it sounds like. Now, from the time you listen to the track, you could tell it has some grit to the bass. So I know automatically this might be a sawtooth. This is probably a sawtooth sound. And then I'm just gonna play with the filter. And then I'm gonna activate the second oscillator. There you go. Gonna change this to mono, and then go to unison, and then change it to noise. And there we have it. There we have the bass. Now all you could do to add some nice effects to the bass, you could either adjust the sustain for it, or adjust the decay. And then you could go to matrix, and then on envelope 2, just add it to 20, so it's gonna open. Now that sounds pretty good to me, but it's not really perfect. So let's add some distortion to this. So we're gonna go to effects and add some overdrive. Just a little bit of overdrive, let's say. gonna add a bass bus. Search for. Let's listen to the bass bus. Add some drive. We don't need all this boom, and I'm gonna add just an amp. Add some of that. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is just add a compressor, so that once the kick comes in, it's gonna duck. So to add a compressor, you're just gonna side chain and add the kick. Push all the way up. It's gonna dip. So let's hear what everything sounds like. So sounds pretty good to me. And you can play with different parameters, okay? And that's the bass, that's the entire bass track for the song. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add some of the musical elements to finish up the track. Okay, so the first thing I noticed in the chorus is that there's this sound. It sounds like a lead that goes constantly. Well, it just hits two notes. Okay, so I took the liberty of putting the notes in. It's just G sharp, and then it goes to F, D sharp, and C. Okay, it's simple. Let's listen to the sound. Okay, and let's see how I recreated it. So what I did, I just opened a wavetable. You could just go to Instruments, Wavetable, and then I just used a sine lead for oscillator 1, and then I chose between a sawtooth, okay, for oscillator 2, and then I just adjusted the frequencies like I did earlier. And then what I did, I just go into the matrix and added a filter onto the resonance, and then just put the value up to 60. You could put 16 between 16 and 20, and let's hear what it sounds like. The next thing I did, I added a bass amp just to add some distortion to it, and I just used the clean setting. The next thing I did, I added the pedal just to add some character. Added some EQ just to cut off the bottom end, and then added some erosion just to add some top end to it. And this is what it sounds like. The next sound it has is like a pad that's complementing the marimba, and basically I just used the chords already in the song, and I just used this simple pad which you could find in Ableton. Nothing different about that, and then you could just adjust it the way that you want. That sounds pretty good to me. So let's listen to everything. Then what I did, I took the same pad and I copied it into another wavetable, and I just created another instrument. I took the marimba pad, sorry, the initial marimba sound, and just wanted to have that simple synth kind of vibe going on. It was the same wavetable. You could see the settings that I chose. Remember that same trick that I showed you guys using the matrix? I did the same thing with the filter. So now I could adjust the sound. I just added some EQ, removed the bottom ends, sent it through an amp, clean, see? The distortion does something different to it here. Added some erosion, and added a compressor. Put it on the kick, so now it sounds like as if like it's moving. And I just use some of the reverb to just fill in the spaces. So let's listen to what the music itself sounds like. The last thing that I did was just I found some samples and I just chopped it up, basically adjusted the basically I just played with the transpose button for them, and I did that for all of them. And on the main line I just added saturated just to add some drive, some distortion, a bit of distortion and some echo, and that's it. Added some EQ as well, just take out a bit of the bottom end. Just shave off a little of the bottom end right now, and just a little bit of the top end, and just added some echo and a glue compressor just to give it some smack. Okay, so that's what everything sounds like. And that's how I came up with this remake for Burna Boy's Way Too Big. This has been a Free Square Music production. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget 100 likes and you guys get this fast for free. See you guys soon. Peace out. Bye.